Alright, let's see if I fixed my CPU issues. I think I've got my stuff configured. I tried Firefox when they switched to their quantum stuff, and it just wasn't impressed. Just wasn't. The pages rendered faster, but they didn't render the pages well. So, like, what was the point? Weird. Man, just. Can I keep this? Am I allowed to keep this? Yeah, but I think there's, I mean, like, I think saying nothing's gonna get banned into subject is super silly. So I think that's silly. I think I wouldn't be surprised if they don't ban anything, but I also would be. I feel like they're gonna gear up for. I feel like they're gonna open the. Hopefully they open the floodgates a little bit. Yeah. Hopefully we get some toys back. Seachrome Coast, Ancient Ziggurat playing against humans. Unsurprising. Man, you're a psychopath or a masochist, or maybe a healthy mix of the two if you want Punishing Fire in this format. Punishing Fire is like Umezawa's GTA levels of miserable in terms of the magic games it generates. It's just like, it's really, really obnoxious. I think Stoneforge Mystic and Bloodbraid Elf sound great. I think those cards are perfectly fine. Bloodmoon is fair, bad, Metamorphose. Thanks to the resub Anoronics, I appreciate it. A big old $24.99. Remember, you have infinite points. You know, you get a free donation deck list with the big sub. You have more democracy than most of the rest of the kingdom combined. I'm currently building the Soul type mid-range deck that you made a couple videos on. How do you feel about cutting the main deck, search for Azcanta, for Grimflayers to up threat density? Hey, the Mustfall casting, the Twitch Prime subscription. Thank you very much and welcome. As always, subs are the best way you can support my content here. Yeah, the searches were kind of anemic. I actually tried a Sultai list with Grimflayer. After that, I didn't stream with it. I just, like, I think a 3-2 league I played with it, but it felt okay. I think Grimflayer is fine. It does give you more aggressive threats, which is nice. Honestly, it really to me felt like in the, like, I originally started trying Sultai because I wanted to play Search, but like Search wasn't even that powerful in the deck list, but I really liked the consistency that Serum Visions helped you provide in the green-black shell, and also gaining access to the counter spells out of the sideboard felt really good. Anoronics has not set up his banner yet. I gotta work with him on that. So anybody use a Prime sub on mobile, you have to log in to Twitch via your web browser in order to get that to work. Land, please. Land, please. I mean, like, this card technically says land on the back, right? So one could argue that it's the land I was asking for. Jerry had Manamorphose in his Mardu deck? That's funny. We actually played against a Mardu player that had that card in his deck. I mean, like, just a random cantrip, right? I think we're mostly up a creek without a paddle here. Oh, this is super easy. Yeah. Make a command for this. Look at that. Think we pretty dead here. Alright, I mean, we hit a land. It's like a blessing and a curse, right? Because it, like, lets us continue playing Magic. Yeah, go pay attention to your wife. We'll be here. So I think I'm just supposed to path the Thalia here. So that way I can snap path next turn. Hey, Leonard with the Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much and welcome. I appreciate that. As always, subs are the best way you can support what I do here. This is probably naming Snapcaster Mage though, which kind of sucks. God, the Hallowed One deck just creates the worst sort of magic. It's like, let's just flip a bunch of coins. This is work. This is work, Immortal. She has to let me go to work. Well, they chose Path to Exile. Okay, I guess that makes sense. If they have another human here, I'm just gonna pack it in. We're drawing pretty dead at this point. Gankophobia! The 20-month resubscription. Thank you very much and welcome back. Welcome back. Oh yeah. It's literally dead. 5, 8, almost. You take 12 there. Alright, so a bunch of slow clunkers on the draw here. Not. We got some tools though. I added these Collective Brutalities in. We've got some Legendary Explosives. We got some Blessed Alliances. Cut the Spell Snare. I think I want the Searches. I'm gonna cut the Logic Dots. Here's a question. Is Think Twice or Esper Charm better in this matchup? Maybe I just like Coward Split it. I think like there's some middle ground to the format critics though, Dazer. Like you can like I think like so like one of the tweets I posted today just like I feel like is like my personal feelings on Modern. Like the games of Modern that are like really enjoyable are like genuinely fantastic games of Modern. The problem is that it's very easy to like not forget or to forget the good games that exist when there's like games where like they played turn 3 Karn on the play and like I'm playing my fair interactive deck and I'm like, all right, well the game's over, let's go to the next one. And it's just like those games can tend to overshadow the genuinely good games for a lot of people. We have, you know, like as humans, our minds kind of worked in a way where like we tend to remember the things that suck a lot more than we tend to remember the things that are good, right? I think I'm gonna keep this. I've got a lot of good tools. I get what 3 looks at a second land, and if I hit a second land, I can propel myself to the third. I think people expecting Mind Sculptor unbans are wishing for a lot. Yeah, Blessed Alliance is very good against Death Shadow. You can make them gain health at a pinch. You can, you make them gain health. It kills all of their creatures when they attack. It's very, very good. It's one of the reasons you play that card. Yeah, I agree, Dazer, but I think like people that play on Pro Tours like tend to be more inclined to play those fair interactive decks more than anything, right? Alright, my greed might be catching up with me here, believe it or not. Built. Alright, we shouldn't have kept this hand. We missed on 5 looks there, but, yep. All right. Oh wow, we were super punished. All right, that was my fault. That one was not on the deck. We had medium keep into medium keep. Let's run it back here. Yeah, whenever I've touched cards from like the latest master sets, they feel fake. And like I haven't spent that much time with them because I haven't played a ton of Paper Magic in the last year, but like the couple of times that I have, it's like, is this a real Magic card? Someone paid money for this. Is gonna be blue in the middle? Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of people like fall on like ends of the extreme spectrum. Like there's people that are like all modern is awful and there's no good games and it's all variants, and then there's people that are just like everything in the current modern format is fine and nothing needs to be touched or changed or fixed, and I should be happy with everything. I have to like take everything or take nothing. And it's just like I really feel like there's probably a more moderate position in the middle where it's just like, well, I think there are decks that generate a ton of really good games, but there's also decks and interactions where it's just like, why is this here? This isn't like good games of Magic in my opinion. And that's super subjective. This is an artifact, not an enchantment, right? It's a bit of a tilt. So a little bit awkward that we are on the draw here. It's tough to keep Sword of the Meek off the table. What's our only way to answer this? We have guys like counter all their stuff. I think I'm pretty obligated to counter this, right? Hey, Bicycle Knock with the $4.99 month subscription. Thank you very much and welcome. I do appreciate that. We have to counter like every... I think a lot of people overestimate the pairings lottery. It definitely exists, but like, you know, Reed Duke was on camera beating Tron this weekend with Abzan. It's difficult, it's not impossible. It doesn't feel good, but like, you know, there's matches that feel bad in Legacy too. If you the people that say matchup variance doesn't exist in Legacy have never played with or against lands. Lands in Legacy is very comparable to what Tron does. Man, what a combo deck. What a combo deck. Just like this is my Relic Sword of the Meek deck. Because people don't want rotations. They want to be able to play their decks for forever. That's one of the appealing. That's appealing. We used to have a format called Extended, and that was a format that wasn't particularly popular because it rotated. So I think I want to just I can't do anything here, right? Yeah, just this has to resolve. The Relic does start the sword chain again. You're not wrong. I could have opted for Logic Knot, I suppose. I think I just want to draw 2 cards here, right? I'm pretty sure I just want to fetch Hallowed Fountain and draw 2 cards. We can Cryptic Command bounce this and then hopefully counter it on the way back down at some point. Yeah, people just want to play a non-rotating format, and that's okay. Legacy, love it or dislike it or whatever, is cost prohibitive for most people to play. It's just a fact. Telling people that they should play Legacy as their non-rotating format of choice isn't practical for most people. Like, all Magic is expensive, Legacy is astronomically expensive. I know there's going to be some people that'll respond to that comment with like, well, there's budget decks you could play in Legacy. The budget decks in Legacy are much worse than the good decks a lot of the time. There's a reason why the best decks are very expensive. Yeah, well, I mean, like, part of the reason the last couple Standard Pro Tours have been bad is because the last couple Standard formats have been awful, right? Like, really, really bad. This is game one that we are currently playing. All right, hopefully, I'm hoping the blue deck doesn't have a counterspell on 4 cards, but I'm pretty sure my line here is just like, is that my line? Maybe I'm supposed to try and find another counterspell first. This is just gonna like get out of hand pretty quickly. I think I'm just going for the boomerang here. Legacy Dredge is pretty terrible. Pretty terrible. And requires Lion's Eye Diamond, so it's not that cheap. Legacy metagame, look at paper costs. The top 4 Legacy decks at a glance on Magic, on MTG Goldfish at this current point in time cost in order $3,100, $3,900, $2,500. This is the budget deck. $1,300 for Turbo Depths. And then going down the next row, we have $3,500, $1,200, that's Death and Taxes, $2,800, and $2,200. So the budget competitive Legacy decks are you know, $1,200. Yeah, we definitely have sideboard tools for this matchup. Definitely have some sideboard tools.
I go to bed? Me? Declan?
That's funny.
Enjoy.
Have you seen the remote anywhere for this TV? Look at that. That's so much easier than using my phone.
I just changed them.
Perfect.
Daddy will build you.
Yeah, right. All right. What am I doing here? They have 6 cards. We did not draw another counterspell, so my plan is not exactly coming together. We're going to start with an op, looking for a counterspell or a land. That sucks. We're pretty dead here, right? I just like don't have any tools to like grind through this in the main deck. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, maybe I don't find the budget decks fun. Maybe I don't find the budget decks fun. It's okay. Like, Magic's about enjoying yourself too. So like, if I don't like playing Death and Taxes, or I don't want to play Turbo Depths, if I enjoy playing like the blue fair decks, like there isn't a good budget option for the blue fair decks because all the duels are super expensive. All right, so Stony Silence and Disenchant are great here, obviously. These paths and pushes are probably pretty terrible. Probably want these dispels. You know, PJ Masks? It's been legal for quite a while, actually. Maybe these Collective Brutalities are fine. These are fine. Yeah, but I didn't have enough cards in my graveyard to snap the Logic Knot back and have it be meaningful. Do this. Oh no, no. I've reminded chat that they could be watching the PJ Masks instead of watching me stream. I have kids, don't judge me. Yep. Look, I understand. I understand. I've watched plenty. Explosives might be good. Yeah, EE was probably worth bringing in. That's fair. We have this Stony in our opener, so hopefully we won't need it, but Stony EE also isn't a combo, and you could probably argue that we see enough cards that maybe we don't want that. We have Verdict in our deck to clean up the tokens that are in play, so got that going. Going on, Dawn? Yeah. I mean, Manaless Dredge is, like, exceptionally bad, right? That's unfortunate.
I wasn't lying.
I know. I love you.
It's the last time I'm doing it.
Yeah. I mean, you need real cards to play competitive Magic. Start mind rotting our opponent here.
Come on.
That, like, so part of the problem with the legacy cost too is that being able to play legacy isn't just about me being able to afford to build a deck. Being able to play legacy is about everyone else also being able to afford to play a deck, because I need other people to play Magic with. So, like, it's not just about me, it's about me and a tournament full of other people all being able to play the format. Another discard spell. Just gonna draw 2 in response here.
We're locked.
Perfect. Resolves. Into a relic. Makes our Snapcaster Mage a little sad, but whatever. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Vintage. Vintage has a lot of, because the way the restricted lists work in games, it just makes the formats higher variance. There's not, again, saying a format is higher variance is not saying there's the absence of skill. It's just saying that in Vintage, there's going to be swings based on who sees their power and how soon they see their power. Yeah, the Pro Tour is in Spain, so they're done on day 1 already. Okay, opponent has 4 cards left. I'm casting a spell into my Cryptic Command. Deal. Wait, did they just... Man, if we draw a land here, we can snap Esper Charm and get rid of their last 2 cards. Come on, untap land, untap land, untap land, untap land, untap land. What a tilt. What a tilt. If we hit an untap land, we just super punish them. Really unfortunate. Stop that, we were 1 card off. Yeah, I'm just gonna take the last 2 cards out of their hand here. Venom. Dr. Foundry land, sure. Yeah, it's still just Esper Charm. I just ideally wanted to get value off the Snapcaster Mage. They ever put Tezzeret? Seriously? Gross. I don't have a good understanding of the rules, so I don't want to speculate on it. I do know at one point being misboarded was an automatic game loss, and then at another point it was changed so it could be downgraded to... It could be downgraded at discretion if it was found while searching. I've never heard of the fact that it matters if there's multiple copies of the card in your main deck, or if there's a copy of that card in your main deck and sideboard, that they can no longer downgrade it. I haven't heard of that variation of that rule, but I'm not a judge and I haven't played Tournament Magic in a long time, so it's been a while since I've read the IPG personally. So they very well could have made that rule incorrect, but I am not familiar with it, so I'm not going to profess to know one way or another. I do know there is an option to downgrade that. I don't know if that asterisk that they talked about is correct. It very well likely could be. Yeah, the Magic Pro Tour is really bad about not cutting away during stuff like that. It's the next deck we're playing today. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. We're doing it live. Nope, that is incorrect. I'm going to time you out for being wrong. It is not always a game loss. The timing on when you find the card matters. If you find the card in your opening hand, you can call a judge and they will force you to mulligan. And then... Do I care about this? I just want to spell snare the actual boundary, right? Honestly, the actual answer is that the casters just shouldn't be talking about it. That's not something the casters should speculate on. They can just think twice here, right? Well, they can't get it with the relic. Well, I guess I could force them to... Nah, I'm just gonna pass here. Just gonna pass. Leave the logic node up. Tech Tezzeret here. Once upon a time, it was in fact always a game lost to be missed sideboarded like that. That rule was changed because it's a brutal, harsh rule that's like no reason to be that way other than to be brutal and harsh. I actually really like the Traverse Shadow list. We've streamed both Shadow variations, and I actually talked about last week before the PT, maybe it was earlier this week, about how I liked the Traverse version more. It's great television. I actually think it's really bad television. I think watching a stream like that and having people who aren't experts on a given subject matter talk like they're experts potentially isn't good TV. I think it's actually really bad TV. So this is an important sequencing type thing to know. So even though my opponent has 2 relics in play, they won't have a window to remove this. If they activate this, I can cast this in response. You have any suggestions for creatures at Grixis control? You should probably just play whatever Cory Burkhart told you to play. You should assume that Cory Burkhart is smarter than you and me and do what he said. Why did I take that Snapcaster Mage? There's a relic in play. Why did I do that, chat? I guess I kind of need Snapcasters to pressure this Tezzeret, right? So I got that going for me. I could force them to pop one of these relics by snapping this opt-in response, but that doesn't seem particularly useful. They probably want to exile these anyways. Yes, that is punishing waterfalls summary is exactly correct. They should have an actual judge on hand. But again, conversion rates are skewed by limited. The actual conversion rates you want to look at is day 1 numbers into 7-3 or better deck lists. And even that has some skewing based on limited, but it's slightly less skewed. Because I don't really want to tap out that much mana when I have a Logic Knot, a Dispel, and a Spell Snare in my hand, and my opponent could potentially cast a card that I care about countering. I don't think I care about cantripping my Snapcaster Mage that badly. That would require me to pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana, and I don't think I want to leave only 2 up. Yeah, but a judge in the booth can actually talk with authority on, like, what the rules are. The judge in the booth can say, well, if this happened, then this will certainly happen. Or if this happened, then this will certainly happen. You are correct that they won't 100% know what is happening without direct information from the players, but they can make educated situational statements based on knowing the rules. I mean, like, we're having typical control deck problems right now, right? Where like our opponent is playing threats that we aren't prepared to fight against, so we're kind of getting ranched because our answers aren't lining up well against their threats. All right, so I get to flash in the Snapcaster Mage and attack this Tezzeret with both of them. They're going to get to kill one of them, but we get to take the Tezzeret out at least here. Yeah. Yep. And again, just anything is better than like the current wild speculation that they have. It's just not, doesn't feel professional, it doesn't feel clean. Matthias Hunt actually responded to one of my tweets about it on Twitter, and I thought his response was quite excellent. Where was it? And where were you at, Matthias? He has a typo. And his first word I think is supposed to be "this is exactly right," but his mentality there seems fine. Yeah, we can cryptic it. We're not stone dead, but we're definitely not in a good spot. I think we're through 2 cryptics already. Yeah, we're through 2 cryptics. It was Sutcliffe and another Tezzeret. All right, well that's not good for us. Yep. Attack me, attack me, attack me. Ding. Alright, so this is actually, opponent has potentially thrown a game that we were going to have a hard time winning. They get to go ahead and eat this Sword of the Meek. And then we get to kill the Tezzeret on the backswing. We do have Celestial Colonnades in our deck. Alright, so we're gonna send this guy upstairs and this one at Tezzeret. Go. Right, you're gonna need a timeout there. So if you want to say something like this deck is worse than X, you need to say this deck is worse than X because, and then use your words like an adult. That's just the 4th Tezzeret, 3rd Tezzeret. Feels like the 3rd Tezzeret. I haven't looked at the top 8, so can't really give an informed opinion on that. I think I'm actually just going to take this hit here. I'm going to play this Snapcaster Mage and take this hit. Because if we draw like a Cryptic Command, we can like tap, draw their team, and like just kill them. So. Oh, they have a tar pit. Alright, well that makes that plan. I guess that still works, right? That could tap their team, bounce the tar pit. I think we're drawn dead at this point. Or pay by dispute, yeah, that one works too. The sword falls off if it becomes a creature. All right, quick 0204 might be a short brutal day for Esper Control. And again, this is why like the interactive decks in Modern tend to be much more proactive in nature, like the Mardu deck and Death Shadow, and even Green Black's a pretty proactive deck with Tarmogoyf and Grim Players and things of that nature, because if you're being proactive, when your answers don't line up well, you could still just kill your opponent. So It seems okay. It doesn't play to the board at all, which kind of sucks, but fetch this and pass. Should take a little damage from our mana here. Hopefully the opponent's playing another control deck. Temple Garden, okay. Wild Nakatl, interesting. All right, I think I'm gonna take things a little bit slow here and preserve my health total. I could like fetch, shock, and opt, and then like shock and think twice, but I think I'd rather just like get these lands into play tapped and like save myself the health total. Looks like something similar to what we played on stream the other day, right? 4 or 5 color zoo. Maybe they have Death Shadow in their deck. It's on the donation queue today. I don't know yet. We had a bunch of stuff in there. The Pro Tour wrapped up sooner than I was expecting, so I fired up without really forming a concrete plan. Spell Snare. That's sad. You want to bottom that. We're just looking for path pushes and verdicts at this point. Perfect. No, I don't play in the playing the modern challenge is really terrible value. Like the modern challenge is consistently 2 to 3 times the size of all the other challenge events, and it pays out the same prizes. So I don't like to be taken advantage of. Nope. Haven't played the deck list that just got posted as a top 8 deck list, believe it or not. Technology just isn't there for price scaling, ain't that the truth? Alright, so probably going to just draw 2 with this Esper Charm at end of turn, so that way we can hopefully hit the 4th land untapped for Supreme Verdict. I haven't really looked at the Pro Tour decks. I basically went to the gym, got some lunch, came home, and fired up the stream. We're gonna draw 2 here. One of the things that stands out to me in a deck like this is that Esper Charm's always felt really clunky to me in the past. Like, Modern's just not really a format where you could often afford to be playing like these 3 mana cards that don't impact the board. Like Bolted here at end step or Helix or Boros Charmed. Yeah, it looks like they're playing the deck list we played the other day. I wonder if we're just like dead to the cards in their hand. Just like bolt us, untap bolt us. Shock lands don't work now. I'm aware that the deck lists are posted. I don't. Cut these clunkers, add these in, add these in. Is Brutality even good here? It doesn't really kill most of their stuff, right? Yeah, this is probably going to be the end of the road for this one. Yeah, it looks like they're playing Tribal Zoo like the deck we played the other day. The 0306 stream. What should we play next, chat? What should we play next from the donation queue? Forgotten Glory with the $10 donation. Democracy points for Shadow Company. Really like the Sultai list. In. All right, that's what we're playing next. We're playing Shadow Company. We're playing Shadow Company next. We might still win this match, okay? We might be able to still win. Yeah, duh. Modern staple Shadow Company. Come on, chat. It's you. Have you seen the Sultai Shadow Company before? Are the PJ Masks funny? You want to watch a different show? You want to watch Masha?
No.
Stoked for some Shadow Company Bionic Broccoli with the bets. What do you want, Jake? Can you show me? Can you touch the one you want? I'm sorry, Nikki. I can't. I can't. These Esper decks are really clunky. Want Super Wings? Okay. Bob plus, I mean, we live for scary. Come on now. We live Shadow Company. Let's import this bad boy. Let's import this bad boy and see how it goes. Ugh.